Hey, Tom here, FlipAnything USA. I am coming from my home studio this morning. Getting ready to do a Zoom mentorship here in the morning, like it, I don't know, about 45 minutes. Just playing with the home studio. Can you guys hear me? Somebody please chat. I'm playing with this. Just out of convenience, so I put a. Hey, Delta, do you hear me? Anyways, I apologize. I don't have the multi-screen set up here right now, but it'll be usually when I do, which I'll have it when I get back. I thought we could. Well, I thought I was going to run this. I don't even know how it's going to go yet. But, anyways, people get caught up in different ways to make money in real estate. Okay, great. Thanks, Matt. I appreciate that. And I know how hard it is to get started doing something new. It doesn't even matter what it is. If it takes some work, or if it takes some risk and some money, then obviously it becomes a little bit more of a burden, a little more scary, that sort of thing. So the worst thing is to try something that'll burn you out before you actually make money. And I kind of feel like wholesaling is one of those aspects of making money that it can burn you out quickly. It'll dissuade you. You shouldn't consider that wholesaling is not real estate. You can wholesale real estate, and that term gets used loosely. The way I discovered making money in real estate, or let's say wholesaling, because you have different ideas about it. To me, wholesaling is you're selling it cheap, right? You're selling it without trying to get every cent out of it. But a lot of people, that means doing assignments. It means getting it tied up, handing it over to somebody else. Flipman does that stuff too. And the video I was going to play was Jerry Norton's. Oh God, what is it? Let's see, flipping is hard or something. I don't know what. Yeah, real estate flipping is hard. Maybe I'll have to do it after this. But I wondered what you guys think. What do you think is the easiest way to make money in real estate if you've never done it? Those of you that don't have anything, have any real estate investments. Because, look, I know how lucrative it is. And I'm not one of these guys, oh yeah, lease option or wholesaling. The wholesaling, when I see $10,000, is not much money anymore. It's not. And, I don't, I'm in a different bracket, obviously, so 10 grand isn't going to get me excited. And I don't, but I guess I'm just trying to look at it from like that millennial perspective, or that Generation Z. But the one thing's for sure is you're not going to make any money doing nothing. So I think it's a good time to assess what the options are, or what you're going to get involved with. Of course, I'm always pushing my book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate, only because that's how I started. I started at 19 years old. That's how I did it. And let me see. I'm so frustrated with this program I'm playing with right now that I almost don't want to screw with it. But I don't know. What do you guys think? What gets you most excited about real estate? Because the stuff that seems to get people most excited is cars that have nothing to do with making money in real estate. And from what I've seen, Jerry Norton doesn't seem to do any of that. And I apologize. I was going to do run a video of Jerry Norton's, but I can't do it on this system, it looks like. At least not with my limited knowledge. If I didn't have the single screen, it wouldn't be so tough. But what about you, Ultimate Bargains? You've been commenting in here for a long time. What's your thoughts on that? Also, a Zoom people, I've got a private member Zoom that's going to happen it's going to happen in about 40 minutes. So, and a lot of people, if you think your membership expired, it actually hasn't. So, feel free to come in. Those of you that think that. Let me see. Um, let's see. Oh God, I gotta change this background. So I guess you guys are just helping me figure out my. Oh my God. Here we go. Yeah, that's better than what I had. Anyways, I don't know. So what do you guys think? Like I said, this is obviously isn't going to be Jerry Norton's video today, but I'll do it. Maybe I'll do it after I do the mentorship. And here we are back again. But you know what? One thing people seem to always enjoy is, those stories. When I've been doing this 40 years. I mean, my very first story, buying my first property at 19 years old, big commercial property, long hair down to my shoulders. Not even thought about buying. I wasn't even thinking about buying. I was starting a cabinet shop. I was thinking about where I'm going to get my next job, and but it was the agent and his name was Bob Dennis. It was Bob Dennis. He was hungry. I mean, times were really tough at this time. I mean, interest rates were about 15, between 10 and 15%, if you can imagine that, buying a piece of real estate. And 10% of it was owner carried, probably a little bit more if it was bank. If a bank did it, I obviously couldn't use the bank when I was 19 because I wasn't established credit-wise. But I found 4 partners on a property and a bad economy and the desperation to want to get rid of it. That's what I suspect, because that's how I got my first property. I got it owner financed. It was what a lot of people talk about wraps, and a lot of people don't know the term AITD. That's all-inclusive trust deed. This property, basically, they let me get in with $10,000 down, and there was 5 trust deeds. One that wrapped the other 4, or maybe it was one that wrapped 5. I can't remember now, but ultimately that turned into a little bit of a problem for me when I went to do a refi. Which, by the way, how's the quality here, just on picture and sound? Because, like I said, this is my home studio. I just wonder how this is working right now. I also got a new camera here. Don't know how good it is. So Casey wrote, taking something no one wants to something people will overpay for. I don't know. I don't know about that one. Taking something no one wants. Well, that's not my way of thinking about it, Casey. What I like to do is I like to get something that everybody else wants and get in between what everybody else wants and what somebody has. That's my mode. Thanks, man. Pars says it's simple but not easy. Many can't stick around to being consistent and persistent. So here's the deal. What you learn from me, or what you'll learn from me, I mean, whether it's my book, the book I made it kind of specific to make it the easiest way to go make some money. And it is. It's the fastest, quickest, easiest way. I know, for sure. But there's a lot more. In the mentorship, there's just way more options. There's a whole lot more stuff. I can't put 40 years into a book, but what I can do is I can put the best of 40 years in that book, in the best way for somebody to start. Which anybody here watching, if you don't have my book and you've been in it before, just go get the book. Spend $10 on Kindle or $20 on Paperback. It'll answer a lot of questions that you have, and it'll open your eyes in a way you just can't even imagine. And if you haven't seen the testimonials, go to FlipAnythingUSA.com. Watch the testimonials I've got in there. It actually blows me away. I've got more people that I need to videotape and interview that have made money than I have time to mess with. And the reason I don't have time to mess with it is because I'm too busy actually making money in real estate, because that's really what I do most of all. Man, let me see here. And I'm going to have to go here after a little while, just because I got to start my Zoom meeting, unless I end up doing it from here, which would probably be a disaster. But look, if first time here, I can't even make this thing, I can't even activate the share and subscribe stuff. I think you just heard it. Anyways, we're going to talk about this more because it frustrates me. I see guys like meet Kevin and Graham Stephan, and these are nice guys. They're not bad guys at all, but they're making a fortune on YouTube, which I like. I think that's fantastic. But what I don't like, and I'm not being hard on these guys, they don't know real estate particularly well. They know it like a real estate agent, okay? And a real estate agent doesn't know squat about real estate investing. They really don't. I mean, they see it, they work with investors, and they get that glimpse of it. But as far as actually being solid investors that are really productive, okay? Don't get me wrong. I know Graham bought some property, and I did an analysis on Graham's stuff, and if you haven't seen it, he's got these, kind of a Monopoly style cards, and I analyzed this folder, and I did it after the Kevin O'Leary from whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. Anyways, where they pitch stuff. And he basically gave him a D, and I did too. But and that's a little bit harsh. It was on his overall folder. But what you can tell happens, and this is for me, Kevin, and Graham Stephan too, they got more YouTube money than they know what to do with. And so they're buying real estate, and that's fine. But the lessons from somebody that just has millions of dollars that is buying real estate, they're just changing the form of their asset. That doesn't take any talent, and that's really worthless to somebody that's trying to build a fortune from making money in real estate. I mean, I started a business. That's the hardest thing in the world to do. When you're 19, you got no history. It's very difficult. You got no history with in my case, building cabinets, other than I knew how to build them. But it was very tough to start a business from that point. Well, your credit is shit. You got no credit. And it's not that you have bad credit, it's just you have no credit, you have no history. Anybody knows what I'm talking about that's ever started with getting their credit. You got no history, so you got to build history. Well, nobody wants to give you credit to begin the history. And which I got an American Express card, which I urge anybody to do that because it'll help you set up to have the right disciplines for life. In other words, I don't carry any credit card debt. I have all the credit cards, but I mean, I use it. I mean, I can put $50,000, $100,000 on a credit card, but I pay it off at the end of the month. I'm not financing deals with credit cards. And I'm not saying that it's impossible to do or that it's a bad thing to do, but chances are if you're that desperate, you're not going to get that much credit anyways. But don't get me wrong. If you are confident in your numbers, if you're confident that I'm buying something that I can sell for 30 and I'm paying 10 grand for it, then go borrow 10 grand on your credit card, pay cash, and sell this damn thing before the month's out. You'll pay the credit card off and you'll have some cash. But that's only if you know what you're doing. You got to know what you're doing. And so I understand that a lot of people don't know what they're doing. And even in my mentorship, I got really bright. I got the best. I mean, I don't have the most followers. I've been on here a long time, and I don't have that many followers. But I can tell you, the followers that I have are really smart. And the people in the mentorship, they're really smart because they can discern bullshit from, reality. And that's a big thing. People don't have common sense. You hear me say it all the time. The masses are the asses. And it's because most people are just like, you want to distract them to say, oh, hey, look. And then they look, and then they can change the subject when they look back down, and that's how a lot of the stuff is, and or there's a lot of bait and switch. It's hey, how to make $1,000 into $10,000, and then all this rhetoric and really going nowhere, doing nothing, and then it's hey, by the way, do you have a home that we can pull $50,000 equity out of? And we'll be partners together, and I'll use your money to make money. And that's what a lot of people don't understand. There's a lot of people that really aren't trying to educate you. They're just trying to get your phone number, get your email, size you up for how much money you have, and then they're either going to try to take you for $1,000 or $5,000 or $10,000, and that's the routine that a lot of these scam artists do. And I've done some critical videos on Grant Cardone, Chris Crone. I urge you to watch those because those guys to me fall into that bait and switch. Like it's look at this and how easy it is. And with Grant, he says, oh yeah, it's the greatest asset in the world. Of course, he's got several lawsuits going, so now he's not pushing that so much. So it's kind of like I'll sell you a book, or not a book, I'll sell you $1,000 course if that's all you can afford. Or if I get the idea you have more, I'm going to encourage you to invest with me, and I'm going to promise you a return, or lead you to believe a return is there. Chris Crone's got himself in some lawsuits on that. From what I read, I did a video on that. And basically, the gist of it, the lawsuit is these investors were looking at it looked like a portfolio of properties that Chris had brought to these guys, and whatever the disparity was as far as the value of it, they were appraising it looked like about $3 million worth of property to be worth $12 to $13 million, which there's no way should be any that kind of disparity like that. It's either worth $3 million, or it's worth whatever, 12 million or whatever the deal was. I don't know the details. You can look it up. But a lot of unhappy people, and that's not the kind of I don't want to deal with somebody with that kind of history. And again, Chris Crone, he's got all these just kind of over the top cute videos. I guess you want to call them cute. To me, they're a little pathetic. But again, in fact, somebody was telling me, they say, Tom, you're not playing the game. And if that's the game, I don't really want to play that game, to be quite honest. It's just not something I want to do, and I'm not that desperate for money. You're not my target money. My target money is the real estate. What I show you how to do. That's my target money. And if you see, in fact, I think I did a video on Chris Cronin. Basically, it went from, he's got all these. How to do this, but everything leads to the links below, or call off this phone number that's on my t-shirt, and then you get hammered with text by him saying, hey, do you have some equity in your home? In other words, it's total bait and switch. Why not do a video saying, hey, you've got some equity in your home and you want to reinvest it? Let me show you my, and you can jump in and you can invest with me, and that's how I would explain it. Not, hey, let me show you how to do this. Just give me your phone number, and then get hammered with something totally off topic that, for whatever reason, you don't want to broadcast it, openly. So let's look at some questions here. I'll start from the bottom up. Matt just wrote, Tom's real estate barbell can help you find places and going. Yeah, that works, man. I'm big time barbell. In fact, I meant to do that even today. I had Google Earth set up, but. Bill D, I have some nights and weekends. Is it realistic to do this on the side? Listen, you got no choice. Bill, if you're working, you got no choice but to do it on the side. You just got no choice. Let's see, $2,500 is worth it if I don't have the time. Oh, is it worth it? Yeah, well, Bill, just get the book. Get the book. If you don't, do you have the book, Bill? Because if you read the book, if you're not inspired to jump into the mentorship, it's probably not for you anyways. But I would say no. Listen, what you're going to learn in my course for $2,500 is something you're not going to learn anywhere else. Because I'm teaching everything. And I've got hundreds and hundreds of hours now of Zoom meetings. I mean, there's more than half the education now, isn't that? Because there's so much that we go into in the middle of the deals that I'm doing now, deals that I've done 20, 30 years ago. It's all relative. And people say, oh, is that still, is everything, relative today? No, look, there's technology you can do to obviously we can walk the streets now through the web. That's great. But no, nothing's changed. When it comes to real estate, you're still buying an asset. You can pay too much for it. Ideally, you buy it under market. You can still buy things under market. But it's all the same game. You got to be the first one there. You got to get your name on the contract. You got to get it signed, and that's all doable. And there's, there's like people that do shotgun blast, and I say shotgun blast. They just try to write everybody a letter. Well, everybody's getting a letter. I mean, I open up my mail, and it's like, it looks all the colors of the rainbow. Everybody's got a bright card saying, hey, do you want to sell this, your house, this, that, and the other. I mean, I own a lot of commercial buildings, big buildings. When I say big, relative to my portfolio, and I've got a lot of $3.5, $4 million buildings. Well, even I get like a lot of you might get on your home, a rental home that you have out there, or your own home, you get all these, I get a lot of harassment like that, or solicitations. I won't call it harassment, solicitations. And my standard thing is, I'm not a seller, I'm a buyer. I'm a buyer. Yeah, you know, you want to know if I want to sell this? No, I want to buy more of the same. And I tell, and this is a good tip for you guys that are looking at property, you know, when people approach you, let them know that, you know, don't, like in my case, this is for me, maybe not for you. I say, don't show me anything that's on the MLS, don't show me anything that's in LoopNet or City Feet or these different, you know, varying ways that the property's represented. I said, I already know about it. I already have it. I know everything that comes on the market as soon as it comes on the market. And that's because of technology. But also, there's a lot of sleeper deals out there, and that's what you learn in the mentorship, is how to pick up some of the sleeper deals, stuff that nobody else knows about, and you know, sometimes even the seller doesn't know they want to sell, and it's a way of eliciting those deals, and that's really important. But also you'll never be a sucker again if you've ever been a sucker. You know, you get through my book, you get through my mentorship. Believe me, you're going to be smarter than the people that are selling courses. I mean, just through that, you're going to be smarter than the people that are selling courses on the web. You know, people that have made millions selling crap courses. You'll be smarter than them, and that's one of the reasons. I say Chris Crone. He couldn't be a mentor if he wanted to be when it comes to real estate. He couldn't answer any of the questions hardly that I answer because he doesn't have the experience. It's impossible. You can't pull that out of your ass. You got to live it, and I've lived it, and that's a big difference. So yeah, any of you guys that are interested in, getting in the mentorship, if you can afford it, if you can do it, I say time, you got to have some time, but it doesn't really matter. Like you were saying, Bill, guess what? Most people work all week. Everybody works all week. They have a 9 to 5 or something like that. They have their evenings, they have their lunch hours, and they have, before they go to work in the morning, and they have the weekends. That's kind of how everybody is. So you're not alone in being busy, and but yeah, it would be worth it to you. It would be worth it to you, and you can get a discount if you go in there and you write Darius. He can give you a discount. I'll make sure he does too. But the main thing is, if you're not getting where you want to be and you're not making any money, I mean, you got to do something, right? Somebody used to always term you can't win the lottery unless you buy a ticket, and breaking that down, basically, ain't nothing going to happen unless you take a step. And I don't consider the lottery. Real estate investing is so much more safer, so much better. The bottom line is, anybody can be a millionaire, really, if you just buy property, buy everything you buy right, and then try to buy something every year. You'll be a millionaire, and that's like the safest, most boring way to invest. And I've kind of broke it down before. I'm a millionaire from some long-term assets that I bought and just sat on. I'm a millionaire from stuff that I've just flipped very quickly. And I'm a millionaire from land. I'm a millionaire from apartments. I'm a millionaire from commercial buildings. I'm a millionaire from industrial buildings. I'm a millionaire from office buildings too now. So in other words, if I just did any one of those things that I did all of, I'd be a millionaire, right? So no matter what, I'd be a millionaire. And a multi-millionaire from all those things. So that's why there really is no downside. But the downside is if you end up kind of being a professional, like a professional patsy, or somebody that's like constantly being swindled, always looking for the easier buck, the easier thing. And that's one thing I don't offer, right, is I don't offer bullshit. I don't offer, oh yeah, just do it, it's so easy, anybody can do it. Now, I do believe, to a large degree, almost anybody can do it. You gotta have common sense, though. And when I see people that can't buy a $10 book or $20 book, I think, you know what? You probably can do it. You probably can do it because you're too I don't even want to say cheap, but whatever, you're too cheap or inept to buy a book, you're you're so risk averse you can't spend $20, then I don't think you've got what it takes. But the same guy that won't spend $20 on a book will let a car sales type guy talk them into paying 10 grand for a course, or go to a seminar and they'll fleece you for another $20,000-$30,000, and you're the sucker. And so yeah, obviously there are people that are not that bright, and like I say, I have hopes of educating and showing people how I've done it, and and there's people that go, oh man, I got it, and it's wonderful to hear that. For me, to hear people that say, I got it, they get it, because I've educated, SCORE, all the testimonials that I got people that get it, that some just didn't know about, know that the opportunities were there. They didn't understand the game. They had preconceived notions that real estate, that's for other people. They don't know what it's about. They don't understand. It's like, just think about anything that you enjoy today that at one time you were concerned about doing. It could even be swimming or riding a bike or hiking. Think, that's too much work. Then you do it and you get out in nature and go, wow, this is really cool. There's stuff like that. That's the best way I can kind of bring it up. So Paul wrote, I am trying to join the mentorship program, but no one has called me back. Did you fill out the mentorship survey, Paul? Because that's where you start. You fill out the mentorship survey, and that'll end up landing on my desk. And then I'll give you, I'll let you know if you can come in or not. Bill wrote, I read the book, so I took the first step, and I live in a house. I got under more. Well, Bill, then you're in good shape. So, yeah, Bill, so go fill out the mentorship survey, Bill. Paul, same thing. Go to FlipAnythingUSA.com. It's not hard to find. Go to the mentorship page. It'll say the mentorship survey. Just click on that, and then you'll hear back from me. McAfee, I only have weekends, but it's definitely, you're in there, Matt. I was going to say, wait a minute. Yeah, you're already in there. Barry says, Bill, if you don't have the time, then it's not for you. Yeah, Barry, I don't know. Barry, are you in the mentorship, Barry? Because I don't know if I like you telling people it's not for them if they don't have time. I really, like I say, if you think you don't have time because you have a full-time job, that's not true. But I mean, if you have two jobs, then it probably isn't for you. Anyways. All right. Well, hey guys, I got to wrap it up. Sorry for this long, slow, dragged out beginning. And how many do I have in the mentorship? It's might be hundreds now, but yeah, I mean, I had 100 in the first year, and here's the best part is the people that started, they're renewing. People are renewing. Okay, so that ought to tell you something. People that have been in the mentorship and they've been in it for a year, they're paying and they're renewing. So that's probably one of the best testimonials I have right there, is that people actually do it. But don't worry about that, because Bill, some people never make it to a live because they don't have Saturday morning. Like, I got to start this thing in about 20 minutes. They don't have time to do that. To start, they don't have 2 hours. Sometimes it's 4 hours on a Saturday morning. They don't have that time. But guess what? They go back and they watch that part. But that doesn't matter. The 1 month crash course is what is the big value. The 1 month you're going to have to study. You're going to get 5 hours dumped on you every week for 4 weeks. And that is all personally instructed and delivered by me on video. And so you have all that, and then you have the weekends, and then when you have a deal, believe me, I was on the phone with a structural engineer for Garrett the other day, yesterday, and I've got a background that most people don't have. I've done so many different things, all involving buildings and real estate and that sort of thing. And I've been through lawsuits, and I've been through asset protection, so I know a lot about a lot of stuff. So everybody gets the benefit of my knowledge when they're in the mentorship. But anyways, Yeah, I don't have time to get into that Delta because I got to wrap up because I still got to drive to my office, which is 10 minutes away. But hey, if you're first time here, subscribe. Go get my book, Wake Up and Smell the Real Estate. You can see it up here above my head. It'll be the best $10 or $20 you ever spent, guaranteed. And you know what? For all I know, you can get your money back from Amazon. I think they might give you money back if you're unhappy. I don't know. I don't care. I really don't care. The money for me is it's insignificant. You know, I just really wanted to. I'm enjoying the hell out of people making hundreds, now over $1 million, some of them, inside of a year. For me, it's just awesome. You know, I know that I got a guy that's 40 years old and he's feeling a hell of a lot more secure. He's feeling a lot better about putting his kids through college. I mean, that's all the reward I really need. But you got to understand, I give a lot of my time in this stuff, and I don't take a piece of anybody's action. Although I may start a fund here pretty soon, just because I have people that would like to invest with me. But it's not 100%, but I'm working on it. Okay, well, Paul, did you fill out the mentorship survey? That's what you need to do first. You got to fill out the mentorship survey, okay? So I'm going to talk to Darius about that. Darius, if you're watching, Paul said he didn't hear from you. He might have thought maybe it looked like spam. I don't know. Can't say. But what I would suggest, Paul, is you have to fill out the mentorship survey. You have to. And it's very simple. It's very quick. You could do it before I even get to my office driving. It's so quick. But anyhow, so look, I'm broadcasting from home here, and I have more time here and there, and I do both. I mean, I do everything. South Bay. He asked if I buy and hold. I've held assets for 20 years, and I mean, some I'll hold for 40 if I live that long. You know, I have a lot of real nice retail centers, industrial properties, and they pay very well. They're a great source of income. If I needed a couple $1 million, I can get a line of credit. I can borrow a few $1 million off that. If I get excited and see something, oh, that's a deal, I tie it up. I pull a couple $1 million out of one of my other assets and pay cash for it. That's what I can do, and that's what hopefully everybody can do someday. But anyhow, gotta go. Thanks for watching, everybody. Paul, please do that. Anybody, go fill out the mentorship survey first, and then worry about the pricing. Listen, I like people that I think will succeed. I've been pretty good at picking the ones that do succeed, letting them in the mentorship, and I guess I don't really know about the people I've turned down, but I got no regrets of the people that I haven't let in, because usually they just think, no, this is going to be more trouble than it's worth. So, anyways, that's it. FlipAnything USA, and we'll see you guys later. And